happy Friday. This is the That Blue JKU YouTube channel, and I am not in a blue JKU. This is my work truck, and we got a pretty decent day today. We're going to do about 300-400 miles a day. For a day cab, I feel like that's a lot. Might not be, but whatever. We're going to get out here and do a pre-trip on this truck, and we're going to head to the back and get unloaded. So come along with me. I think anyone who clicked on the video and is giving me a chance, I really appreciate it. But come pre-trip with me. Alright, so we got a pre-trip to do. I'm going to grab my little tire plunger here. That's all good. Light works. Sounds good. Light works. Everything looks alright. Everything locked up. Lights work. Left flap's good. Plate's good. Everything up there looks fine. Reflective tape good, light works. Tires are good. Lights are all good. Pop this in, check the oil. I'm going to shut this motor off so we can check the oil. And we got our oil dipstick. While we're here, we can look around, make sure the belt's okay. Ain't nothing leaking. Coolant's good. All the hoses are good. Pull this out and check this oil. It's a little low on oil, so I might add something to it. I got a little bit in the truck here. Oh, that cap's on there tight. Over here to the passenger side. Got my door. I think that's open. Go grab my oil out of here. If I don't grab the coolant, it would be bad. So we'll check this side of the motor. Hose is good, coolant's good, air filter good. There's no windshield wiper fluid in there, it's not necessary. All the hose clamps look good. Let's grab this oil. Got a little bit in here. Not a whole lot. I think these are just 10W30. I figured it'd use thicker oil than that. And add some engine oil. Got like half gallon in there, maybe a little less. Throw some in there. Get my door off soaking wet. That'll be okay. It's a good thing about driving a scrap/trash trailer. When I get done with something, just chuck it in the trailer. Let's check this again. See what we're looking at now. Now we're good. Now we're good on oil. Right between the minimum and maximum line, which is where I wanted at. And one thing for the Mac, especially new Mac and new Volvo guys, You've got to come around to this side of the hood and flip that up. If not, your hood's not gonna shut. And you can be on YouTube looking like an idiot trying to shut your hood. Oh, that's good. Everything here inside. Almost ready to hit the road. Alright, so we done got unloaded. We're done our pre-trip. We've checked everything. Now it's time to just go weigh this thing out. Finish filling out the paperwork from yesterday. Turn that in, and we are headed to Vanceboro today. Mills Auto. And then we gotta go to Lee Iron and Metals in Lillington, North Carolina, where we're getting a load of cars. They're gonna load that really quick. I'll be there 10 minutes maybe. So come along with me, and I hope you enjoy it. Alright, so we're off to Vanceboro. I figured I'd get in here, and I want to talk a little bit about why I want to do this. Now, exactly why, I have no idea. It's something I've wanted to do for a while, or at least try. I've tried the streaming and gaming thing, and I'm not patient enough for it, but I'm trying to teach myself a little patience. And figured if I do it and post something every day, every couple days, something like that, I mean, you never know. Plus, I see, it's like I said in the end of my other video, Wayne Gretzky said you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And I see people on these Facebook pages, you know, about YouTube and Twitch and all that, and they talk about, oh, well, you never make any money off of that. Only the top 1% of the top 1% make any money. And it got me to thinking, why can't I be that? Like, I don't understand why there's people out there, especially like a support page like that would, like, I don't have my hopes up of making any money, but I mean, why can't I do this and make anything? You know what I'm saying? So I figured I'd throw a camera in my truck. I got a GoPro for my birthday. I've had this one over here for a while. I figured I'd throw a camera in my truck and just see where it goes. See what happens. Some stories will come up. I tell stories about things I've done, things I've seen, and maybe somebody will find it interesting. Now, I know this me at work stuff is not that interesting. It's probably kind of boring, but I mean, it is what it is. But I do have a Jeep, and I do plan on, you know, going out to the coast. Me and my wife want to go out to the coast one more time before baby's born. With just us. I mean, we'll probably be out there a million times in our lifetime. But we'll go out there before the baby gets here. You know, we're super busy for a while. And then I think the Jeep club I'm in is going to plan a UARI trip. I've also got private trails in town that I can go to, and those are fun, and never know what's going to happen out there. The trails change, whether it's dry, wet, windy. All the trails, I mean, they're different every time you go out there. one side of Richmond, and I was going to the other side of Richmond. And he was supposed to follow me up, and I was going to show him where he was going. Well, the trucks we had were 75-mile-an-hour trucks. 1007 and 905 were the truck numbers. And now we're riding, we're going up 95. I'm running 75, he's running 75 on my rear bumper. Well, anyone who's been north on 95 knows that when you get to Petersburg, speed limit changes to 55. Well, at this time, we're getting paid by the load. So, and I've been doing this a while. He was still fairly new. But we're getting paid by the load, and I'm not doing 55 miles an hour. I don't get paid to do 55 miles an hour. Plus, traffic up there is doing 80 anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Well, I'm cruising on along. I got it. I mean, foot to the floor, 75 miles an hour. Now, I look in my mirror, and by the time we get to Colonial Heights, I look in the mirror, and he ain't there no more. I call him up, and he had slowed down to 55. No idea where he was going. I told him, I said, look, man, we don't get paid to do 55 up here. We're not getting paid by the hour. You just going to set a GPS. And I went on my way. I got my load and came back. I got back, and I told him, I said, hey, if he gets lost, that's on him, man. So he ain't getting paid to go slow. He didn't stay long after that. I don't know. I've seen him once since then. I'm not 100% sure what he went to do. But he had been driving a while, and he had done a bunch of other stuff. He was a little crazy. But, anyway, I figured I'd share that story. I'll talk to y'all the closer we get to Vanceboro. We're about halfway there now. I'll see y'all in Vanceboro. Well, I regret not grabbing my sunglasses this morning. It was very cloudy, and I was expecting it to stay like this all day, but now the sun's sort of coming out a little bit. And I'm having to squint. But thought I should go through maybe another story. This is when I worked at Coastal Beverage, and this is the only time I've ever wrecked a truck, had an accident in a truck. And I jokingly blamed the lady at the Wilco in LaGrange, because she put my 2-liter sodas up for me, and it got me out of that store faster, which in turn got me out of the next store before I normally would have been, and put me right in the middle of one of the worst thunderstorms I've ever driven through in my life. Like I said, I left that Speedway or Wilco, whatever. I think it was a Wilco at the time. I left that Wilco in LaGrange. I went to a little country store up the road, and I got all that done, left out of there, and about a minute and a half after leaving out of there, it's kind of windy country roads out of there, the bottom fell out, and the wind is what was so bad, which is what in turn caused the accident. But I'm working at the beer company, and I had I think it was a 48-foot, just a drive-in trailer. But it's super light and it's empty. And these were I had one more stop left after the Wilco and the little country store. I had one stop left, I was on my way to that, but they only got like one part of stuff, so the truck was basically empty. And I hit this long stretch in between LaGrange and Snow Hill, and winds come off the driver's side of the truck. I was driving through like a tunnel of trees, and I come out of that tunnel of trees, and there were 2 gigantic fields on both sides. I mean, huge. And as soon as I come out of them trees, man, the winds hit that trailer, and it kind of shifted it off to the side. It was blowing it like that. The trailer caught the ditch, and wind still blowing, it just sucked it down in the ditch, and it kind of whiplashed the truck down in there. At one point, I looked out my driver window and I could read down the side of my trailer because it kind of, everything started sliding real bad. And I slid down into the ditch and finally came to a stop, probably 70 yards from my house. Scared the bejesus out of me. Anyway, I had two people from Coastal at the time stop, what happened? And they kept riding. Anyway, Highway Patrol finally comes by. He stops. And he's doing all these measurement things, which that's pretty cool. I didn't know that they could do the measurements with their car. Now, they don't have to get out with the little rolly thing, they can do it with the car. He does all that. I'm sitting in the patrol car with him. And then the DOT comes by, and he checks the truck out basically, and he says, "There ain't nothing wrong here," and he takes off. Well, they get the tow truck out there, and the tow truck pulls it up out of the ditch. Only thing that broke on that was the passenger side hood latch, and then the tow truck guy bent the steps that went up to the catwalk. He had to go up under and hook to the front of the trailer to pull it out. But I'm getting in the truck, they got it back up on the road, and the tow truck man, he goes, "You might want to go talk to the highway patrolman. Probably gonna write you a ticket." I said, "I won't do nothing." You might want to go talk to him. So I went back there and talked to him, and he didn't write me a ticket. He said, "Nah, ain't nothing you can do about that." I didn't end up doing my last stop. I had to go back to work and take a drug test and an alcohol test and all that. Of course, I passed that. I wasn't drunk, nor was I high. Anyway, that was the first and only time I've ever wrecked a truck. Anyway, we're almost a mile, so I'll come back and maybe talk to y'all when I get there. That last story brought up another one. Well, it's not really a story, but it's just the way things are, at least here in North Carolina. The DOT, those guys can be really nice, and you watch the pretty cool looking silver and black car drive by, or they can be real headaches, because when you're driving a commercial motor vehicle, they don't have to have a reason to pull you over. There's been numerous times where I've had one coming up beside me, and he slows right down, throw the blue lights on, and get in behind him. And most of the time I've been pulled over, it's just been a license check, where they just make sure my medical card's up to date, basically. But I've had them do like an inspection, and they can do that. They can pull any truck over that they want to just to make sure it's okay. And that's not something that they can do, at least not that I'm aware of, to people in their personal vehicles. Like, you're never just gonna have a cop pull you over so they can check your tire. Like, they can pull me over just to plunk my tire with a hammer and make sure it's got air in it. And that's just if it's just a light inspection. They can do a level 1 inspection, where they can get down on the creeper and they throw you on the scales. They got the Tahoe's got little scales in the back of them, little mobile scales that they'll weigh the whole truck on. And if you're on an interstate and you're overweight, they're gonna throw a nice little green sticker on your windshield. And if you drive away, it's a federal offense, because that's a federal shutdown, whatever. I had a DOT man try to explain that to me one day, because he shut me down for some dirt. A little bit of caked on dirt on my bumper, he shut me down for. And it wasn't even that much. I mean, it's probably like that tall, about that wide, but it was caked on the rear bumper, and he shut me down for it. Anyway, yeah, just a little bit of dirt on the bumper, and he shut me down. That's a $300 ticket for anyone who hasn't had to do that before. Well, we just pulled up at Mills. I'll finish this story when we leave up out of here. But back to the DOT thing. North Carolina's not near as stringent, at least not in my experiences, as Virginia is. Virginia, I mean, they got pits. You know, like when you go get your oil change, they got that little dugout there in the shop. They got them at least the scales, like exit 30 something in Virginia, maybe 41. I think it is actually. But they got a little pit. I think it's on both sides. It might just be on one side. But they'll pull you up in there and they'll get down in that pit and they'll check for, I mean, leaking fluid, you shut down. Anything. They're strict up there. And like with my experiences hauling the metal, they haven't been as bad because, well, no. I've been shut down once up there. I got a hellacious ticket the first time I ever went up there. I didn't know nothing about it. I'd never driven, you know, a straight truck. I know, like, tractor trailers and stuff like that, but I had never driven a straight truck out of state. And we had we still got this old roll-off truck. First time I ever went up there driving a roll-off into Virginia to that place. And man, I grabbed a box up there, and they don't have scales, so I had no idea how heavy it was. It was a 40-yard box, and it was full of engines. Well, apparently 86,000 pounds on that truck, and it's too heavy for the Virginia Department of Transportation, because they proceeded to write me an $8,000 ticket and called North Carolina to tell them I was coming. Because I tried to jump the scales in North Carolina because I knew how to go around that one. And there was a DOT man at 561, a DOT man at 481. And the next pull-off is the scales. I pulled into the scales. Yeah, she weighed me in, hit the little red light on me. I also got shut down there. But she hit the red light on me and told me to pull off. I pulled off, she come up there and, you know, she took measurements of the truck. Because it's all bridge law stuff that I was over on. Well, I was over gross too, but I was also over bridge law, so she had to do that as well. And I told her, I said, now, I'm already caught, so I can say this, but I was trying to go around you. Well, she said, we know, Virginia called. I said, God almighty. Anyway, the lady that runs the scale, she went back inside, and the DOT guy come over there and did his little thing. He shut me down. I had a coolant hose about that long that was over the back door. He threw the green sticker on my window and told me to fix that and tarp the load. I didn't have a tarp. Well, I did have a tarp, but it was for a 48-foot trailer. All I got's a 40-yard box, so it's 20 foot long, maybe. I had to double this tarp up, and I think I had 4 bungees. I had never done this. This was literally the first time I was out on my own riding in a roll-off truck. I tarped it and come back. I think it was a Friday too, or maybe a Thursday. I come back, parked the truck, waited in the next morning. My boss hadn't got there yet, so I just went in there and laid the tickets on his desk. He come in as I was in there getting laid in. He grabbed the tickets. He said, $10,000. I said, I didn't know. And that's when we changed the box sizes up there. I hadn't got a weight ticket since. But that's what I thought. I thought that was a pretty funny story. At least that part. here to Lee Iron in Lillington. We're gonna have to pull on their scale, back out of the gate, turn around and back all the way back to the back since we're getting cars. It's kind of crazy of a back to get back there because it's downhill and it's an S back up in there. Well, like I said earlier, they'll load this thing quick, so we won't be here too long. It's 2:30. We might be here till 2:45, 3 o'clock. And it's another hour and 15 minutes back to the yard. Be off by about 4:30. I'm gonna go, if it's still nice when I get home, I'm gonna go out to the farm and hopefully film a Jeep video. That way I got some video of my Jeep doing Jeep things. I think that would be probably the appropriate thing to put on a Jeep channel. Now we're gonna roll up here onto their scale here in just a minute, and I'll talk with y'all when we go through the backing process.